So today we're going to review for our quiz. So we're going to kind of do everything that we did last week, just kind of do a refresher. And then I want you to work on your homework. Just make sure that you are caught up with everything. Okay? So I've got 6 questions on here that I want you to kind of work through first. And then, well, you may not be able to. Let's see, 5. Let's just do these 5 here, and then I'll pull up the 6th one. So I want you to tell me the slope formula, standard form, slope-intercept form, find the intercepts in graph, and then graph that equation there, x equals 7. So take a little bit of time and go through that. Okay, so the slope formula, remember, is where you are trying to find the slope between 2 points. So it is going to be y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus an x1. And remember, you are going to have to know this for your quiz and for your test moving forward. I will not give this formula to you. Okay, standard form. So an equation that's in standard form means that x and y are on the same side. So that means that this is going to be ax plus by is equal to a c. Everything is on the same side. Your x and your y are on the same side. Slope-intercept form of an equation is y when your equation is solved for y. So what's special about that is that you can pull out your slope there. So your slope is the number that's in front of your x, and that b right there is your y-intercept. Okay, good. All right, so number 4 there says find the intercepts and graph. So to find the intercepts, we are going to so for the x-intercept, you are going to plug in a 0 for your y, okay? So when you do that, you will have 8x minus 4 times 0 is equal to a 16, right? So you're really going to have an 8x is equal to a 16, so x is going to be equal to a 2. So your x-intercept is at 2, 0. Okay, your y-intercept is when x equals a 0. So you'll have 8 times 0 minus a 4y is equal to a 16. Okay, so when I do this one, I'm going to have a negative 4y is equal to 16. Divide both sides by negative 4, so y is going to be equal to a negative 4. So there are my 2 ordered pairs that I am going to plot on the coordinate grid. Okay, so I'm going to plot my x-intercept and I'm going to plot my y-intercept. Okay, so that means my x-intercept is 2, 0. Okay, so my x-intercept is 2, 0. So I'm going to go over 1, 2, not move, and my y-intercept is 0, negative 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, down here to 4. Now it's going to be a straight line that goes through these 2 ordered pairs. Okay. All right, so now let's look at number 9. You can have 5 and 6. So take a minute and try to do number 5 and do number 6 while you see it up there. Okay, so the graph of x equals 7 here. So x equals 7 means I'm going to go along the x-axis to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And my line here is going to be a vertical line. Because no matter what my x value is, or no matter what my y value is, my x value is always going to be a 7. Okay? So that's a vertical line straight up and down. So the slope of that line is going to have a undefined slope. I didn't ask for it, but just know, you have to know that. You're going to have to know that. Okay? All right, what about y equals a negative 2? So that means on the y-axis, I'm going to go down to a negative 2 there. No matter what my x value is here, my y value is always going to be a -2. So this is going to be a horizontal line, okay? The slope of a horizontal line is 0. Okay? Alright, I'm going to put some more up there. So that was number 6. So paper's getting slim. Okay, so y'all do that one for me. All right, so y'all do these 4 for me. Okay, so if I wanted to convert to slope-intercept form, so that means what I'm asking for is I want to solve this equation for a y. So if I wanted to solve this equation for a y, I would move that 6x to the other side. So if I was going to do that, I would subtract 6x on both sides. So I'm going to have an 8y is going to be equal to a -6x minus a 32. Okay, we're not done here, so we're going to divide both sides by an 8. So here I'm going to have y equals, now I've got a -6 over an 8. So what goes into both of those two numbers is a 2. So this is going to be a -3 over 4x. And 8 goes into 32 4 times. So my slope here is going to be a -3/4, and my y-intercept is going to be a 0, -4. So that's the number that I'm going to plot, is that 0, -4, and then I'm going to use that slope to find another point. Okay, so now let's use this information to graph. Okay. So, if I was to graph this, the only ordered pair that I know is going to be the y-intercept. So that's the only point that I can plot. So I'm going to take this ordered pair right there and I'm going to plot it on the y-axis. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And the reason it's on the y-axis, right, because I don't move any on the x. Okay? Then I'm going to use my slope, which is a -3 over a 4. So that means I'm going to go down 3, so 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to go over to the right 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's an ordered pair. And also you could go up, right? So you could go up 1, 2, 3, and to the left 1, 2, 3, 4. And there is your other ordered pair. And you can keep going in both directions forever and ever and ever, because this is a continuous graph. Okay. All right, so this one, I've got x plus y is equal to a 3. So x plus y is equal to 3, so I need to solve this equation for my y. So I'm going to subtract my x, so I'm going to get a y equals a -x plus a 3. So the slope here is going to be a -1, and that's going to be a -1 over 1 because it is a whole number there. The y-intercept here is going to be a 0, 3. Okay, So again, my y-intercept is the only order pair that I know. That is the only order pair that I know. Okay, so it's the only thing I can plot. So that means I'm going to go up on the y-axis 3. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then you're going to use that -1/1. So you'll go down and to the right 1, down to the right 1. You can go up to the left 1, up to the left 1. Both of these that I chose for you had a negative slope. So the graph of a negative slope should be decreasing from left to right. Okay? Good deal? All right, so finding the slope of an equation. So here, now we have an ordered pair. So you've got two ordered pairs. So you're going to have an x1 and a y1, and you'll have an x2 and a y2. So this is why you need to remember that formula. So it's y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus an x1. The change in your y's over the change in your x's. So 13 minus a -3 all over 6 minus a 2. So 13 minus a -3 turns into a positive, so that's a 16. And 6 minus a 2 is a 4. So 16 over 4 is going to give me a +4 slope. Good? Okay, so here we have an x1, we have a y1, we have an x2, we have a y2. Okay? Okay? So to find the slope here, we'll say y2, so 3 minus y1, which is a 4, all over your x2, which is a -3, minus a -3. So always make sure you plug in the sign with that. So it's got a minus a negative there, so that turns into positive. So 3 minus a 4 is a -1. -3 plus a 3 is a 0. When there's a 0 in the denominator, so 0 in denominator, my answer is going to be, what type of slope will I have when there's a 0 in the denominator? Undefined. You cannot take 1 out of 0 no matter what. So my slope here is going to be undefined. Okay? And if there was a 0 in the top, then my answer would just be 0. But this is my 0 is in the bottom. So it would be undefined. So no matter what there. So what type of line is this for an undefined slope? A vertical line. Okay, so if you were to plot these 2 points, let's do that just so that you can kind of see. Okay, if I was to plot these 2 points, it would be -3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, up, 1, 2, 3, 4. And a -3, +3, 1, 2, 3. So if I was to connect the dots, what's happening here? This line here is a vertical line. So a vertical line, no matter what, is going to have a slope of a undefined. I can't fit it all right there. Undefined there. Okay, up and down. Left and right, though, the slope is a 0. Okay? All right, so that is everything for your quiz tomorrow. So if you have finished all your homework, then there is another little worksheet that I have for you. So get that printed out and start practice and working through that. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Y'all have a really good day.